And so it's time to talk about The Boys because we are back. Alright, so The Boys has returned to Prime Video with season 4, and it released with its first 3 episodes. And even though that we are back with these characters with Butcher, The Boys, Vought, and the group, the 7 led by Homelander, and even that, this is the climax for what we're about to see, because even though that this is all setting up the layout for the final season 5. But even though that we are back, especially with this new season after the previous season ended, there's so much more to talk about as well. And so this will be my non-spoiler review for the first 3 episodes of The Boys season 4, going over everything, all the characters, so what they have been through, and even just with the story and how it is different and how it's going to set up the final season and how it's going to lead into even bigger showdown down the road as well. And so if you're new here, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future bits, especially with The Boys. But now, let's talk about it. And now, going into this new season, and I like The Boys. I think this was one of the best shows out there and superhero content, and it delivers great characters, great storylines, and also great action scenes, and also some really grossed out parts as well. But even though with the season 4 for where we last left off, and even with Homelander, that is the best villain out there in the show. But even with his character, he's now rise up to power, and even with his supporters, and even for how he's going to dominate and having all that power to him, and even that we get to explore deeper meaning within his character, and even that he has Ryan with him after being taken away from Butcher, that is his son, and even with Butcher and the boys are trying to figure out how to defeat Homelander once and for all. Because even with the 7 and with Vought and for what we had to explore for in this season, but even with the 3 episodes that I've seen, I think it delivers so much, and the start, it starts off like that, and even with Butcher, that is in a real deep stuff right now. And even for where we are with Butcher, this dude has a few months left to live because he lost everything, and he lost his son to Homelander, and now with him, we get to explore more inside of him that we ever did, because even though at the start of the show, for when he first recruited Huey to form the boys, and even with Homelander and what he has to do, and for what his plans are, especially for what the 7 represent within him and with Homelander. But I feel like with Billy Butcher, and I feel like his character, I really enjoyed for what this new season has done to him, and I just really enjoyed how his characteristics pull off. But even though with the bonding chemistry between him and Ryan in this season, it is pretty dang good. It puts from the opening scene of the show, and with that clip, and it actually plays a deeper meaning after that, because with Homelander, that is up to a powerful stuff that we never even seen before. With the new characters that are introduced, so especially with Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the show, that is now working with Butcher, and with the chemistry between them, it is off the charts, and it is so good. And I feel like with these two, they're definitely gonna work together, and with the boys to help defeat Homelander. And this is some of the pretty big stuff that is happening within the season, and even with a Firecracker that is newly introduced, and I feel like within the second to third episode, you really get to have a better understanding of her character. But she's now a part of the 7, and even though with her and Starlight, I feel like they're definitely gonna go up against each other in this season. But not to spoil anything, but there are some parts that'll make you really want to not like her. But even though I enjoyed for what her character delivered, and man, even with a Vought on Ice, that is something that is perfectly well and executed, and for what they teased before the show even came out. But hey, there's some parts that really blew my mind here. with the grossed out parts that they have in the show, because even from what we've seen from when the show started, and they started leveling up the the gross parts with like tearing bodies apart and with blood splattered everywhere. But even within like the fourth season, but as we've seen within the universe of The Boys, like they always had like kind of gore and some grossed out stuff. But even within this fourth season, like there's some like wow, there's some like crazy parts. I mean, even in the second episode, I don't want to spoil anything, but there are some parts that you'll definitely want to make you cover your eyes. But hey, this is like that's a TV show after all, but it definitely levels up the grossness and how it wants to like creep you out. But I enjoyed it. But I enjoy the action, and even with the violence that goes down, it is really action packed, and especially like all the drama and like all the attentiveness of what these characters are going through, and it's such a fun thrill ride. And even with the rest of the gang, especially with Huey, what his character is going through, and then like he is dealing with family stuff, especially with his dad, and even with his mother involved. But I feel like with his character of Huey, it is really starting to change a little bit, but it is adding a deeper meaning and layer from when we were first introduced to him in The Boys from the start of the show. But I really liked Jack Quaid's portrayal of Huey and how he was able to stick with Butcher and The Boys, and even with his relationship with Starlight, and just with the chemistry between these two. It is a really really good for how they develop within each other. But it's just like Huey dealing with stuff like even with like, emotions for how he's going to survive, and even with like the show in general, for like the way that it is really leveled up with some like great new stuff to tell, but also continuing where it left off. I was really impressed for what this new season had to offer, and like even for these characters, like they're going through so much, and now with the villain Homelander that has now rise up to power, and especially with his supporters, and like man, there's some like crazy stuff and like violence that like definitely goes down within this season. Even after the third episode, oh my gosh, even like the ending of episode 3, I don't want to spoil anything, but it'll definitely want to make you question for what's next, especially involving Homelander. And oh my gosh, you guys have to see for yourself. And also with Mother's Milk, I feel like I really enjoyed for what he had to bring to this new season, and like he is definitely being serious, especially with his family, with Kamiko and Frenchie. I feel like with their relationship, it really hit his spot while they're on screen together. It's because even with Kamiko, who is like she is deaf in the show, but I think her character has really started to develop, and I like her character even more. With the showrunner that has confirmed that with season 5, that is like the last season for out to wrap up the show. But I feel like that we reached the penultimate season, the climax. But I feel like things are really at stake here. And so my final thoughts is I'm really enjoying this new season of The Boys so far, even though it's only 3 episodes, and I'm definitely dying for what's next, especially after the third episode, and I'm wondering if we get more crazy stuff, especially involving Butcher, Homelander, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, and there's some crazy stuff, some crazy plot lines and stories that we're about to explore in this new season of The Boys, and I can't wait for it all as well. And so that's going to do it for this video, but just let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and what are your thoughts on the first 3 episodes of The Boys season 4, and are you looking forward to more? Just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and subscribe and turn on notifications about future videos, and also follow all my social media, so all of which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.